Johannesburg exists in two places at once. There is a Johannesburg you can touch, smell, feel, and hear with its jacaranda-lined streets, exploding roads, screams of traffic, glitzy high-rises, and pungent smell. And then there is the other Johannesburg, the one you're taking for granted, the one that pulses through fiber cables and 4G signals, the one that lives in Instagram grids and Google Drive folders, in DMs and collaborative Canva boards, the one that causes jumpy thumbs to double tap and fingers to type 3 flame emojis after a post. This is the digital creative economy.
My name is Jozi. I go by Jozi on all of my social media platforms, and I am studying LLB at WITS.
Hi, my name is Slaisani and I go by International Gawaza on all social media platforms, and I am a beauty and makeup influencer.
My name is Mahubedi Seko. I am a visual artist working in textile and sculpture from Johannesburg, South Africa.
When I hear the phrase the creative space, what comes to mind is all the talent that we house in the creative space. I think the creative space is filled with innovators, with outside thinkers, with people who know how to relate, people who know how to, add value to an existing economy. And I think that's a very valuable skill, and especially in spaces like marketing, spaces like music and content, in brand development, and also customer and brand relationship. I think it's a very interconnected ecosystem. It requires everyone. As much as you may be a content creator, you still need the photographer. As much as you may be a photographer, you still need the muse. As much as you may make music, you still need the marketer. I think all of us play a role in everything we do. The same way I make content, I'm gonna need music for my background. I make content, my hands are in my face all the time. I'm gonna need nails. Hair is as well. So I think we're all interconnected, and it's such a big space that I think is very underlooked. I just wish that our country would take creatives a lot more seriously and pour into creative spaces and also creative businesses as much as they pour into sports, for example.
We need so many more structures. I'm critiquing government involvement, but also sort of private investment. Funding is always the challenge, and it's always the roadblock. I think particularly for people who work in the creative space, it's like, if you think of being an artist, like you've got to buy in to what you're doing. It's an immense amount of pressure.
I think it's one of the leading spaces where South Africans thrive the most. You see it in our music, how much it trends. You see it in our dances, they become worldwide. You see it in our style, You also see it in our cultures, how we relate with one another, how we are able to interconnect with people from other nations. And I think that's one thing that I wish people would understand about the creative space.
I grew up on the internet, and so it was a no-brainer for me. I had to sort of post my work, because how else would people see it? That's how we operate these days. We live in a digital world, and so I wanted to share my photos online, whether people were going to see them or not. I just wanted them to be out there. But I did also find at some point that I did still want to be a human being. I didn't want to be not like a business on Instagram, even though as an artist you are a business, but I still also wanted to give some kind of insight into my personal life and just be like a normal human, not like a robot on Instagram.
I started content creating because I've just always been a very creative person. Since a very young age, I have been someone who loves drawing, loves painting, and I thought, what would happen if I took what I was painting on a canvas and put it on my face? And it got a lot of traction online and a lot of feedback, positive feedback, and I was like, okay, this is actually really cool, and I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy challenging myself in this way. So maybe I should do more of these things. And I would also see a bunch of other creators online and how them creating makeup looks has impacted their lives and changed their lives.
So me starting makeup on social media was my way of almost making that process of learning easier for other people, making that information accessible and making it easy to understand. Of course I wish to be monetized. What do you mean?
I need that to be me.
I think that's the one thing that is missing when it comes to South African content, is that we're not monetized, which I also think should be something we should be a little bit more upset about, you know, because other countries are monetized and they're able to make money online as a main stream of income. And especially in the economy we live in, I think a lot of people have such a big following online, and sometimes they struggle when brands don't reach out, you know, and they still create the content, but they're not getting recognition, they're not getting the payment for it, they're not getting the benefits of that content.
So I do monetize my work. The way I sell is a combination of things. So sometimes I will show it in an exhibition and I'll have clients who are interested in work. So it's a combination of the physical and digital.
I have worked with brands. I have worked with Maybelline. You have a deadline, you have a video that needs to be done by next week Friday, and I think it's really fun. I don't know, it's like a cute little project. I think it's so fun. I really enjoy doing that.
I've gotten brands that have reached out to me, but most of them have been overseas brands and they really struggle with shipping things to South Africa. However, I did sign up to work with certain collaborations for brands through Brand Insider, which has also opened a lot of doors for me because it's shown me how brands work, their expectations and their deliverables. More than anything, brands also appreciate engagement. Engagement is one of the biggest selling points and values that you can add to a brand. And therefore, as a content creator, if it means putting yourself out there more, creating more, and making yourself visible, then I think that's what it takes.
You need to show your worth, basically.
I don't think there's a gate-kept culture or anything. I think brands are very open to the faces that are popular right now.
So yeah, it's a lot of pressure, and you do doubt yourself a lot. Like I said, you do compare yourself to people a lot, and I think that can really affect your self-esteem. The content creation space is not as fun and easy as they make it. There are parts of it that's really enjoyable, but I think it comes with a lot of self-criticism. And yeah, a lot of hard work as well.